3 weekends ago, Colin Carr used the word purge with regards to people like myself and Steve Bannon and the other people in the White House who they think should not be there. Purging is the kind of word that Maoists use. That's the kind of word that was used to get rid of people you politically disagree with, perhaps even in violent ways. So these people have unmasked themselves, Sean.
So that was a Sebastian Gorka talking about Susan Rice and the fact that since she's left the White House in January, she's been pretty aggressive in her comments toward the Trump campaign and the Trump team and the Trump administration, as well as Ben Rhodes and some other folks who used to be in the administration. So he's claiming that there were the motivations there to try to harm the success of this administration, no doubt about that. I'm going to continue this discussion on Metrolink. It's an important one to have. Several people have called in who've had experiences on Metrolink. Bruce, Chuck, Dave, if you can hold the line for just a minute, I would appreciate that. Right now, I want to get to my guest very quickly, and that is blogger and conservative commentator Matt Walsh joining us right now. Matt, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
The MattWalshBlog.com if people want to go read some more of your thoughts. And I know you've got a new book out we'll talk about here in just a couple of minutes. Matt, I love reading your commentary because it just gets to the issue. It just cuts through all of the garbage. What do you think about this Susan Rice case and the unmasking of these names and the leaks against this administration?
So this is obviously, anytime you see a story, I know that there's so much going on in the world, and sometimes it's difficult for the average schmuck like myself to know what to make of it. But I think a general good rule of thumb is if you see the mass media running as fast as they possibly can away from a story, then you know it's an important one that you should be paying attention to. And that goes for the Susan Rice situation, and also all of the leaks coming from the intelligence community about this administration. And this is between these two things, you have the kind of political scandal that few of us have ever seen, and the media has no interest in it. So if they're running away from it, it's important. If they're running towards it, it probably isn't. So that's just, maybe it doesn't work in every case, but that's the general rule of thumb I think we should apply.
Yeah, and particularly the way the media kind of circled the wagons around the administration and Susan Rice and the attacks they were making against the president when he originally made these claims, calling them fabrications, and he has no proof. And then the proof kind of rolls out, and now they're aiming at calling it a diversion. And I mean, it's just sickening to listen to.
Yeah, the other thing you have to remember about the media circling the wagons around the former Obama administration, is that not only are they ideologically biased in his favor, of course, but also there's a lot of crossover between the mass media and his Democrat administration. A lot of them work now for CNN and NBC, so there's a total conflict of interest that they never talk about or get into. But it's like I was watching CNN yesterday morning. They had former Obama administration people who are now CNN contributors, quote unquote, and they're on there talking about Syria and putting the whole blame for the Syria situation on Trump, when these people themselves were partially responsible for what we're seeing. So this is just all around. You can't say enough about how corrupt and dishonest the media is.
No, very true. On a different subject, and I know you wrote about this fairly recently, but one of the headlines in the newspaper this morning, in the news feeds that I was watching, said Pence, Secret Service agent, caught up in prostitution sting. And then I go to read the story, and I find out that one of the Secret Service agents that surrounds Vice President Pence, when he was off duty, got busted at a hotel with a prostitute. Now, that's not something he should be doing. I'm not saying that it's illegal activity, but they had to immediately tie it to Mike Pence somehow. And you wrote a great article on the fact that earlier this week, people were shocked to hear that Mike Pence has some pretty healthy boundaries when it comes to having dinner alone with women other than his wife. And the left seemed outraged by that.
Yeah, well, apparently Mike Pence is supposed to keep track of his Secret Service agents during their free time. He's supposed to have a homing beacon on them or something like that. Yeah, this just shows you how you see a few things from it. Number one, how desperate they are to slander and destroy anyone connected with Trump or really any Republican at all, no matter how kind of squeaky clean they are, and that's Mike Pence for, he's squeaky clean. It's one of the reasons I think they selected him. And you also find with the whole marriage thing, it's just, what I've been saying is that the outrage is driven by, of course, a lot of people in my generation, millennials, which unfortunately I'm a part of that generation because I'm 30. You have to remember about people in my generation, many of us have never, myself excluded because my parents were great, but many of us have never encountered or seen in real life what a healthy marriage looks like. We've never seen one in our homes. Of course, we can't see them on TV when you turn it on. So we have no idea what a healthy marriage looks like. And then when we actually encounter one or we hear about what goes into one, which is all that Mike Pence and Karen Pence were describing, we're kind of shocked and scandalized because it's just really a foreign concept to us. And that's one of the things that I kind of put in that whole ridiculous scene.
Well, it sort of leads us into the title of your book, The Unholy Trinity, Blocking the Left's Assault on Life, Marriage, and Gender. And tearing down those societal norms has been the goal for a long time, and in large part, they've succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, I'm afraid.
They really have, and this is the ultimate goal of leftism, of liberalism, as it stands right now, is to not just get rid of societal norms, but to do away with objective truth, moral truth, and even what's in now scientific truth. They want out the window, and they want everything to kind of be relative. They want to put themselves in the place of God and have everything be relative to themselves. And this is a process that began with abortion, with redefining human life, continued through marriage, and now we're at the point where even gender, where now they're telling us that your gender, your biological sex even is relative to what you think and how you feel and what your inclinations and appetites are. So not only has it succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, but obviously it succeeded far beyond the worst nightmares of many conservatives up until very recently, because I think a lot of us kind of sat back when this whole gender thing began, and we said, well, that's not going anywhere. It's a silly, fringe issue. No, it's not. It may be silly, but it's not fringe. They were dead serious about it, and they've had a lot of success even with this latest effort, and it's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, very true. The book is called The Unholy Trinity, Blocking the Left's Assault on Life, Marriage, and Gender. You can buy it right now on Amazon, or hopefully at your local bookseller, wherever you're interested in doing it. I'll probably try to get a Kindle copy of it and read it here soon. Matt, I appreciate your time. I enjoy reading your stuff. People can go to the MattWalshBlog.com. You're still doing stuff for The Blaze as well?
Yeah, you can also go to theblaze.com/Matt Walsh and find my stuff there as well.
Outstanding.
Thanks for having me on.
Matt, have a great day. Thank you for your time. I enjoyed talking to Matt there. I was having a little trouble hearing him, but the connection was not great. But check him out. Looks like a good book. I might have to get that and put that on my list of things to read.